Morning, dear souls. My lovely boyfriend is about to board a plane back to Australia this morning, and oh look, I can see the sunrise in the background. And so I thought I'd share a little story that involves him too, and that's about how we are all interlinked in this beautiful divine in this beautiful divine web of love and light. So there's a little area that we have to walk through in order to cross the road, and Lanto is very sensitive to having anything touch his face, anything in his path. He doesn't really understand that he can just walk through it. Even if it's a blade of grass, he'll just stop and be like, oh my god, there's a blade of grass, look at that beam of gold. And so one evening a few weeks back, I said to Dave, I said, look, could you please cut the stray strands of greenery on the path so that Lanto can cross? She's like, of course. So he said, I'll go on ahead. So off he went ahead to cut the greenery on the path. So, you know, this is not about chopping anything in great quantity, but this is just a bit of pruning the countryside, cutting back stinging nettles, brambles, and that sort of thing. So he had these great big shears, and on his way to the path where we crossed the road, he came across a man, and this man was tending to a beach bench. There are many beach benches along the prom, all dedicated to those that have departed their physical bodies. And this man was fairly old, and he was huffing and puffing, and Dave said he sounded really very out of breath. And he had a pair of secateurs in his hand, and he was going at this patch of grass beneath a bench that had become quite unruly and was quite awkward for him to get to in his senior years. So Dave was like, all right mate, and so this guy turned around and said, oh hello, and so Dave's like, do you want a hand with that? And the guy goes, well, that would be great, but could really use a pair of shears. Whereupon Dave pulled out this giant pair of shears, like really Mick Dundee from Australia, and said, what, like these? And this man's face was like aghast. Like, you can just imagine, like this would be the equivalent of an angelic walk-in when you're asking for help and then universe sends you help in unexpected ways, but that help is actually already designed for something else, because everything is interlinked, everything is perfect, everything is beautiful, everything is divinely perfect. So within a couple of seconds, Dave had cut the grass down to this man's liking and bid him farewell, went on ahead and sorted out the path for Lanto and for me. So that was lovely. On our way back, after our walk around the fields and everything else, we went past the bench, and we noticed that this man was tending to the bench of his son. I mean, he did say to Dave it was his son's bench, but what Dave hadn't seen before was that the son was actually a very young man when he had passed. So you know, there was something really delightful and uplifting about this sharing of energy and sharing of just a very simple thing, nothing extraordinary, or it could be considered extraordinary, but just this very simple helping somebody else that was incredibly uplifting for both parties, and most likely incredibly uplifting for the departed son, who would be rejoicing in this exchange. So no matter no matter what it is, you know, don't be afraid to reach out and communicate with others, and explore the world together in unity. Unify at every given opportunity, in love, through love, and with understanding and gentleness. And the world is a very sweet and beautiful place. So I hope you enjoy this story. God bless you all. Have a great and joyful day. Peace.